But scrubbing still takes time. Now there's Dawn.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you so much, Mary Lou, for welcoming us with such beautiful music. It's so great to gather with everyone here for our Tu B'Shvat Seder. That sound in the background is my little girl Maya. You'll hear Eli as well in a minute. My name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro, here with Kimberly Freilich. And we've got members of our choir, Mary Lou Basaraba, our choir director, Liz Baseman, who is our cantorial intern, and the Tsamanas family, because Gabby is becoming a bat mitzvah this weekend, and we are all celebrating. Oh my, you want to be on camera? We're all celebrating so much together. In the chat box, Carol Diamond, who is our Zoom master, will periodically be putting a URL, a web link, so that you can follow along with our service tonight. And you should be able to have both of them on screen. Perhaps you have another device and you can use another device as well, but we encourage you to please follow along because there are many beautiful readings that we use throughout the service. I'm going to begin with an introduction to our Tu B'Shvat Seder. And for those who may be new to this, we've intertwined elements of our Shabbat evening service and prayers with elements of the traditional Seder celebrating Jewish Arbor Day, the Jewish Nature Day, when we celebrate trees and fruits and all kinds of vegetation that is indigenous to Israel. I'm on page 4 of the PDF that hopefully you have access to. Every 15th of Shabbat, Jews gather together to remember the miracle of nature and celebrate our relationship to it. We are about to begin our service in Seder, to taste the fruit of God's creation and to reflect on our role in the world. Let all who hunger for knowledge and change come together to reflect on our partnership with the earth and our connection with nature. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, the wind and the water, the sky and the sea. And although God planted flowers and trees in the earth's soil, God refrained from sending rain down. The Torah teaches that only once God had created humanity did God allow the vegetation to bloom. Only after God formed humanity out of the very earth, these plants lay dormant. But only after there was someone else to watch over their well-being did God allow plant life to sprout and their seeds to spread. Humans were to the earth's caretaker, and humans were to be the earth's caretaker and guardian, a shomrei adama. And during the human's first night in the garden, God took him by the hand and led him to every seed-bearing tree, telling him, "See my works. how lovely and praiseworthy they are. All that I've created for you. Be careful, though, that you don't ruin or destroy my world. For if you ruin it, there's no one who will repair it after you. We are now going to continue with the singing of Atse Zaitim Omdim. Cantorlani?
Our choir members will be leading us this evening: Carol Seidman, Charlene London, and Linda Winters. Shabbat Shalom. And Linda and everyone, make sure that you are unmuted so we can hear your beautiful voice. And maybe Carol is able to unmute Linda.
Here we go.
There we go.
Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, la 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 Atze Zaitim Omdim, la 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 Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim.
Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, la 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 la. La 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 Atze Zaitim Omdim, la 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 Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim.
Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, la 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 Atze Zaitim Omdim, la 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 Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim, Atze Zaitim Omdim.
Thank you so much. We're going to continue. And if you have access to the PDF and might be interested in being called on for a reading role, just put your name in the chat box and I'll call on you eventually. We're on page 5, everyone. Dayenu, a modern day interpretation. Had we purchased 100% recycled paper but not reduced our paper use, Dayenu, would it be enough? Had we reduced our paper usage, buying products with less packaging and printing on scrap paper, but never saved electricity, Dayenu, would it be enough? Had we saved on electricity, buying energy efficient appliances and installing compact fluorescent light bulbs, but not planted a tree, Dayenu, would it have been enough? Had we planted a tree but not safeguarded our forests, Dayenu, would it be enough? Had we safeguarded our forests, writing to Congress and asking for stricter logging restrictions, but not cleaned up our streams, would it be enough? Had we cleaned up our streams but not cleaned up our rivers, Dayenu, would it be enough? Had we cleaned up our rivers but not taught our children about the importance of protecting our environment, Dayenu, would it be enough? Continuing now on the following page, page 6, with the singing of Eitz Chaim Hi.
that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Eitz chaim hila machazikim avetom hecha me'ushar. Eitz chaim hila machazikim avetom hecha me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Eitz Chaim He, a tree of life to all who hold it fast. We've got an incredible tree in our congregation. A little girl who, not a little girl, a young woman who was once a little girl in our preschool, and her family. So we're going to invite Gabby Tsamanis and her parents, Lisa and Alex. And it looks like the ganze Mishloch may be here as well. And Gabby will be leading us in our candle blessings for Shabbat on page 7 of our PDF.
There you go. Yep. You got it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Oh, Gabby, that was extraordinary. We're going to ask you to stay there. We're going to invite the congregation, those who are able to please rise for our Kiddush for Shabbat.
Eloheinu melech haolam Orei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'atzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'volaton kinchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehillah le'mikraye kodesh zecher l'tziyah mitzrayim kivanu b'charta ve'otanu kiddashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodeshecha ve'ahava ratzon kinchatanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim, Mazel Tov. Gabby, that was so extraordinary. We're going to leave your page spotlighted for a moment because we have a couple of presentations for you from members of our leadership. So from our sisterhood, we invite Helene Jaffa, and from our men's group, I believe Herman Barnathan is also here. So Helene, why don't we begin with you?
It's actually Wendy Senelek.
Oh, it is Wendy. I'm so sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
Wendy, why don't we begin with you?
Great. Thank you. On behalf of Temple Keeper Sisterhood, I would like to present you with a beautiful set of candle holders and matching Kiddush cup, which you will receive tomorrow. You've worked hard to get to this point in your life, and I know your family is so proud of you. This is a huge milestone. You're now an adult in this wonderful Temple Akiba community. We hope you will enjoy these gifts in your holiday and Shabbat celebrations. Use them with love and with pride for all of you have accomplished. Enjoy tomorrow. It should be so much fun. I'm sure you will do just beautiful. Your singing was already gorgeous tonight. Mazel tov to you and your family.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Herman, if you can unmute, that would be awesome.
I guess that would help. Thank you, Rabbi. Rabbi, I'm Herman Barnathan. On behalf of the men's group, we want to present you with this Tanakh. Rabbi or Cantor will give it to you tomorrow. There is one in the synagogue with your name in it. I say your name is in it because we have inscribed it with your name, with the date of your bat mitzvah, and all relevant information pertaining to tomorrow. The Tanakh is the Holy Scriptures. Cherish it, read it, learn from it. Everything you want to know about Judaism, you'll find in here. And what you can't find in here, ask the rabbi, he'll tell you. Mazel tov to you, mazel tov to your family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Herman. Friends, we're going to continue. If you have the PDF there, it's on page 11. And just like at the Passover Seder, there are 4 questions. We have some questions for Tu B'Shvat. And I'm going to call upon the Zlotowitzes, Morris and Elizabeth. We can spotlight you if you can lead us in a few of these questions.
Thank you. We're just getting to that page, if you can bear with us.
Mm-hmm.
Not 10, 11, and where are we? I'm sorry, 4 questions.
4 questions, right.
Okay. You want to go? You want? We'll share. Of all of God's creations, why does this holiday honor trees specifically?
Trees are a symbol of our investment in the future. And because they take so long to grow, planting them is the most selfless act one can make for their children. Trees give us shade and food. They purify our waters and house our wildlife. Honoring trees honors the investment of our ancestors and reminds us of our obligation to our children.
There's a story. You want me to stop?
Yeah, no, keep on going, Elizabeth.
There's a story told of a righteous man named Honey, thank you. One day he saw an old man planting a carob tree. Honey said to him, "Foolish man, do you think you will live to eat and enjoy the fruit of the tree you plant today? It will not bear fruit for many, many years." The old man replied, "I found trees in the world when I was born. My grandparents planted them for me. Now I am planting for my grandchildren." And so Honey learned the importance of planting seeds for future generations.
Keep on going.
Why today do we specifically eat fruit that is grown in Israel?
In the Tanakh, Isaiah is recorded as prophesying that in the day to come, Jacob will take root, Israel will blossom and sprout, and they will fill the whole world with fruit. For over 2,000 years, Jews were exiled from living in the land of Israel. For over 2,000 years, the Jewish people were without a home. Now we can fulfill Isaiah's prophecy of not only filling the world with fruit, but partaking in its offerings as well.
Why are we thinking about planting when spring is several months away?
Although it is still winter here in the land of Israel, one season is ending and another beginning. It is a period of transformation where most of the rainy season has passed and the sap is risen, but the time of ripening has not yet begun. Now is the time for us to thank God for the rain for which our earth depends and celebrate the start of another season of greenery.
Thank you so much for asking and responding to those 3 questions. On page 13, I'll continue. And again, Carol Diamond has put in the chat box the URL so you can follow along with the service. And if you'd like an opportunity to read, just put your name in the chat box and perhaps we'll be able to call on you. Why today do we remember the importance of conservation and environmental stewardship? When we take our precious resources for granted, we overlook their value in our lives, and we overlook their necessity for the future. This holiday is a time to reflect on our place in the world around us and to work to improve our relationship with the environment. Tu B'Shvat is a time to remind us of the importance of completing God's work in the world, the holiness of deeds. The truth of this lesson is attested to in the teachings of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, who once said, if you have a sapling in your hand, ready to plant, and the Messiah comes, plant the tree first, and then go to greet the Messiah. With that, we ask for all who are able to please rise for our Baruch Hu, which will be led by Randy Murphy. Thank you so much, Randy. We continue with a beautiful song of nature, which is part of our liturgy. It's called All the World Sings to You. It's based on the Ahavat Olam prayer, and it's on page 15.
Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. The song of the trees when one stirs their leaves. The song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst. The song of the sea when waves are set free. The song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. Tu l'émotion de toi, l'émotion l'émotion de toi, to l'émotion de toi, l'émotion de toi, to l'émotion de toi, l'émotion de toi, to l'émotion de toi, l'émotion de toi. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. The song of the trees when wind soothes their leaves. The song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst. The song of the sea when waves are set free. The song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. Oh, the world sings. Oh, the world sings. Oh, the world sings. Oh, the world sings to you.
We listen to the world singing through the next prayer, the Shema Yisrael. What an honor for Julie Gray to lead us in this prayer.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam Vaed.
Thank you so much, Julie. We now invite Gabby back to the camera to lead us in the Via Havta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אלוהים מצווך היום על לבבך, ושינתם לבניך וריבתם בם, בשבתך בביתך ולתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתי אתם מארץ מצרים לחיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Gabby, that was extraordinary. Thank you so much. We are going to continue now on page 20 with the singing of This Is Very Good. Cantori Lintern Liz.
So there's a very special line in this song. When we sing about all of our animals, there's one animal in particular, our apes, that I need everyone's help for. When God made the world and God made it full of light, the sun to shine by day, the moon and stars by night, God made it full of life, lilies, oaks, and trout, tigers and bears, sparrows, hawks, everyone get ready, and apes. And God took clay from earth's four corners to give it like God we think, like God we care, like God we love, like God we think, like God we care. This is very good. This is very, very good. Man, woman, and child, all are good. This is very good. This is very, very good. Man, woman, and child, all are good. Man, woman, and child resemble God.
Thank you so much, Liz. We're now going to come into the Seder part of our service, and hopefully many of you have on your tables different kinds of wines or juices, kind of like Kentralani has over here, and a Seder plate that's filled with different kinds of dates or figs or apricots, dried fruits and nuts. My favorite fruit, of course, is the fruit we call chocolate. And on my Seder plate, I also have some peanut butter pretzels because I think those are indigenous to the land of Israel as well. So if you have those in front of you, wonderful. If you don't, you're going to watch the rest of us munch on just a little bit. But we're going to start with a little bit of white wine. So if you have some white wine or juice, pour some into a cup. And on page 22, we now come to our first cup of white wine, symbolizing the barrenness of winter. As we recite the blessing, we're reminded of the emptiness of the winter season, the same emptiness that existed before creation. Yet we are also reminded that just as God formed creation out of nothing, our winter landscape has the potential to one day change, and our dormant plants will again grow, thrive, and blossom into spring. I think a lot of us are feeling that barrenness of winter during this pandemic as it just spirals down, and we all want to come out of this deep, dark winter. And so the white wine is a symbol of where we are, but we also know that we'll grow with it. Cantor, can you lead us in a brave Hagafen?
I would love to. So we're going to raise our glasses filled with white wine or juice, and we sing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. The Tu B'Shvat Seder is split into 4 sections, each reflecting the seasons and symbolizing a different way that we relate to trees in our everyday lives. The first section is Asiyah, or actualization, and is symbolized by the eating of fruit and nuts with a hard outside and a fleshy inside. We eat these fruits and nuts to remind us that that appearance remains deceiving. Although seemingly inedible from the outside, each of the foods eaten during Asiyah, when peeled or shelled, will transcend their outward appearance. We call this section of the Seder actualization because, like winter, which has laid dormant for so long, these fruits and nuts contain in them the unique potential to reveal the hidden secrets of creation. Additionally, because of their hard outsides, these foods represent the human tendency to judge others on their outer appearance. Judaism teaches us that people are so much more than they appear, and eating these fruits remind us that despite our size, shape, or color, we all carry a divine spark within because each of us is created b'tselem Elohim, in the image of God. How beautiful that Tu B'Shvat and Martin Luther King Jr. are both honored on the same day because Dr. King celebrated these very same values. We now partake in the first 5 fruits and nuts of the many, perhaps 15, that we'll be eating today. You see, on Tu B'Shvat, we're commanded to eat 15 different fruits, symbolizing the 15 days of Shabbat. That's the month that we're in leading up to the holiday. So try to find on your plates things like that are shell, things that once had shells on them: almonds, walnuts, pomegranates, peanuts, coconuts, pecans, chestnuts, pistachios, bananas, etc. And you can recite one of these following blessings: Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri ha'etz, that's the fruit that comes from the tree, or Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri ha'adamah. And so now find those fruits, the nuts maybe. Charlene London, you put in the chat box that you would be interested in reading, if you're able to, on page 25, where it says the 15th of Shabbat. Can you read for us?
I don't have a screen for that.
You don't have a screen. Okay. I'll then lip sync as I read for you, okay?
Okay.
On the 15th of Shabbat, when the spring comes, an angel descends, ledger in hand, and enters each bud, each twig, each tree, and all our garden flowers from town to town, from village to village. He makes his winged way, searching the valleys, inspecting the hills, flying over the desert, and returns to heaven. And when the ledger will be full of trees and blossom and shrubs, when the desert is turned into a meadow, and all our lands is a water garden, the Messiah will appear. And so we're now going to partake in our second cup of wine. And this one symbolizes the earth being reborn just a little more. So if you take your white wine and pour a little bit of red into it now, it's like the beginning of the sap starting to flow. Cantor is going to lead us in our second Borei Pri Hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim.
So the next part of the Seder is called Yetzirah, or formation. And it's about eating fruits that have pits at the center. So although these pits are often disregarded, we must remember that they're seeds, the means to rebirth. We eat these fruits to remind us that every flowering tree was once barren, every budding field once bare, and that the means to growth can sometimes come from the most overlooked of places. This lesson translates into how we treat the world. Our Talmud teaches us everything that the Holy One, blessed be God, created in the world. God did not create a single thing in vain. We eat pitted fruits during Yetzirah to remind us that all of God's creatures are valuable and significant, and that before we discard anything or anyone, we should take the time to find that value, to explore the hidden spark within us all. So if it's fruit from a tree, we say the following blessing: Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri ha'etz. And again, if it's from somewhere else, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri ha'adamah. And so I've got a date here, and that's what I'll be eating. I had to go off screen for just a second because you didn't want to see me discarding that pit. Okay, we are now going to morph back into our Shabbat evening service. We're going to invite Gabby to come back on screen to lead us in the Amidah. We're on page 28, and we invite all once again who are able to please rise.
20 Okay.
Adonai sevatev tiftahu via gita hilate. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Abbateinu v'Imateinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, Elyon, Gomer Hasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Lezocher Chasdei Avotinu, Ulegula Livnei V'Nehem, Leman Shema Ba'ahava, Melech Ozer Umashir Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Zerah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Bechecha Kol Atav Rav Lehoshia, Mahashir Hara Umari Harashem, Mechayel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayecha Kol Berachamim Ramim, Zol Melch Noflim V'Rofei Ha'olim, Umatir Vasurim, Umakayen Emunato, Lishanei Abar, Micha Machabal Geburot, Umito Melach, Melech Mimitu Mechaye, Umutzvia Yeshuach, Bene Emanata Chayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayecha Kol, Atah Kadosh V'Shemcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yechal Elucha Selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Chayel HaKadosh.
Gabby, you bring so much joy to all of us. Thank you for your uplifting soul and voice. And we ask all who were standing to be seated once again. And we're going to continue with our third cup of wine. So you should now prepare some wine or juice that is half red and half white. And I'm on page 33, just above where the box is. We now partake in our third cup of wine, symbolizing the warmth and ripening of summer. We pour half a cup of red and half a cup of white to remind us that growth is a gradual process, that although the trees are full and green and the flowers have blossomed, their growth is not yet complete. So much more will be created. So much more will come to be. So if everyone can hold up your wine once again, and Cantor will continue.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen, l'chaim.
L'chaim. What we just shared before drinking this third cup is a really important lesson that there's something, even when we're in full bloom as human beings, there's something that's dormant inside all of us that's still waiting to blossom. As we enter silent prayer, it gives us an opportunity to ask ourselves, what is that one more fruit I'm going to bear? What is the one additional mitzvah that I'm going to do? What have I not yet done? Let's pray silently. So we now come to a part of our Seder called Barrenness, or creation. And it's symbolized by the kinds of fruits that are entirely edible. I'm on page 35. And it looks like Charlene may be able to lead us in this. Charlene, are you there? Charlene London?
I'm here.
Okay, can you read on page 35?
All right, let's see if I can get that. Where to go? I have to change screens in order to talk to you, so
Oh, okay.
I'm getting there. There it is, 35.
Right, where it says reader, the second paragraph.
Okay. Reader, we eat these fruits to remind us of the wholeness of the world, that after each day of creation, God paused, looking at all of his work and remarking that it was good. As we partake in these fruits, we remember that although our lives may feel rushed, we too must pause to look at the wholeness of God's creations and to learn to love and appreciate them as well.
Keep on going.
We also take this time to look at the wholeness of our own creations, to examine our relationship with the world, making the necessary changes so that, like God, we might call our actions good. Do we recycle? Do we conserve energy? Are we conscious of where our foods come from? What kind of cars do we drive? Now take a minute to reflect on questions like these and make our own New Year's resolutions.
Thank you so much, Charlene. I'm going to take a moment to think about that. So we're now going to find on our plates fruits that have edible skins and don't have pits. Things like grapes or apples, dates, pears, carobs, raisins, strawberries, blueberries, and chocolate.
Yum.
And we say the following blessings again. They could be either whether it's from a tree or from the ground. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri ha'etz. That's from the tree. Or Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri ha'adamah. I have to say, as I'm eating my medley of fruits and nuts, Cantor and I are so grateful to the history of this service, which was done, it's been done for decades at Temple Akiba. And people like Rabbi Maller, who began the tradition of this service for us, he was such an inspiration. And people like the sisterhood at Temple Akiba, who every year would put together the most beautiful plates of fruits and nuts for every table. It was a lot of dedication, a lot of vision, and a lot of work. And it's something that is very deep inside of my heart and soul. We can't wait till next year when we can all partake in it together in person. We now come to our final cup of juice or wine, and this should be nearly filled dark with red or wine or juice, and it symbolizes the blooming and color of autumn, while the drop of white reminds us of the cyclical nature of the season and the need to harvest and save for the coming winter. So there should be a little bit of white and a lot of the red, and Cantor will chant once again.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim.
L'chaim. The final section of our Seder is called Atzilut, or nobility. And it's the only section of the Seder where we don't eat fruit. Judaism teaches us that taste is intimately tied to this word. Atzilut is a reminder of our transcendence from this world, a chance to experience heaven, if only for a short while. The Talmud teaches us that the apple tree has the fragrance of the Garden of Eden, and that the fragrance of the Garden of Eden was that of a field of apples. Each day, we must pause from our lives to notice the small wonders of the earth, the smell of the dew, the color of the changing leaves, the sounds of birds migrating south for the winter. Only then will we know God's paradise and experience that which lays hidden in the crevices of our world. So if you have a spice box, the kind that you might use for Havdalah, the next prayer we do is about our sense of smell. And if you don't have a spice box, maybe find an orange or something that's fragrant, a flower, and use that to animate the senses in you. What do you have there, Cantorlani?
I actually have an orange from the produce boxes that Temple Akiba is now sharing with our community. So they are available, and I think Catherine is on. She could probably say a lot more than I can about them. But this comes directly from one of those produce boxes, and you're able to purchase it from the synagogue, or I believe a link online. And we're really excited to be sharing this program with the synagogue once again. You get a box of fresh fruit or vegetables or both, I believe once a month, might be a little bit more, but this comes directly from there.
Thank you, Cantor. I'm so glad that you gave a plug for this, because it's such a great program, and the oranges that we got and the raisins and the other produce is just extraordinary. So we're going to sing the Borei Minei Besamim. Cantor, can you sing this with our Havdalah melody? You may not have it there in front of you. Okay, I got it. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei besamim borei minei besamim. We're offering so many different kinds of blessings. We're going to weave back into our Shabbat evening prayers with our prayer for healing, the Mishabera. I was asked recently, is it proper to offer a Mishabera when you know someone is about to die? Because this, after all, is a prayer for healing. The answer is absolutely. Because the Mishabera is not only asking God to heal those who are sick, but it's asking God to give us strength as caregivers and as friends and as a community to move forward and to find shalom, peace. And it's asking for God to send shalom to anyone who is afflicted, whether it's terminal or whether it's chronic, or whether it's anything else. And so as we offer this prayer, we're going to ask you, if there is someone that you are thinking of, to place their names in our chat box so we can all recognize those incredible souls who make our lives so beautiful. Cantorial intern Liz will be leading us in our prayer. I'm sorry, not cantorial intern, Jean Gasca will be leading us. Thanks, Jean.
Mishabera
Avotenu, Makor Habracha, Leimotenu, may the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishabera imotenu, Makor habracha, lavotenu, bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Thank you so much, Jean. I want to specifically share thoughts with the Zlotowicz family and the Diamond family, both who have people in their families and their immediate families who may be entering a different stage as we speak. And so our love and strength, Carol and Elizabeth, go to you and all who love you in every way possible. Amen. Friends, it is now quite an honor to call to our Zoom screen Sarah Fields, who is our board director of engagement, and she's here to offer a shalom on behalf of the board. Hey, Sarah, it's so good to see you.
Hello, it's good to be here, Rabbi. So we have quite a few announcements. I'll try to go quickly. Because of the Martin Luther King holiday, there will be no Sunday school on January 16th, no Akiba High or ECC on the 17th, and the temple is closed on the 17th. We're going to have another blood drive at the temple on Sunday, January 23rd. There's a flyer in the e-news with the sign-up link, or you can call Rebecca and she can help you with that. And right now, the Red Cross is telling us that there's a critical need for blood. We already heard a little bit about the Mishloch Minot fundraiser. It's a chance to wish your temple community a happy Purim. There was an email that went out on January 10th with a link to begin, and there's also paper order forms available in the front office. And basically, everyone is going to receive one of these baskets with some Purim items. And it's going to have a couple of Temple Akiba branded items, Hamantash and Purim gifts, and some surprises. And hopefully you will order for more than one person. You can order for the clergy, for the staff, for your friends, and that will be a fundraiser for the temple. And Wendy Senelik will stay on after the service to answer any questions, or you can call Rebecca. And we also talked a little bit about the farm boxes. This is a good way to support local organic farmers. And there's Good Life Organics, globox.org. And there's, again, going to be a link in the weekly Akiba email. And you'll be able to pick up at the temple, and there is some home delivery options also. So again, this is going to be a way to feed your family with healthy organic produce, and also a fundraiser for the synagogue. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for everything that you do to keep us truly engaged in every way. It makes such a difference. Before we continue with our concluding prayers, Gabby, we can't wait to celebrate with you tomorrow. Your family means so much to us, and tomorrow is going to be an extraordinary time. To everyone who came tonight, stay safe and stay vigilant. This pandemic is a monster, and we will get through it. but we just need to stay strong. Our next prayer, as we begin our concluding prayers, is the Aleinu. If you have your PDF pamphlet, it's on page 41. We ask all who are able to rise once again.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
As we prepare for Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, I offer the following reading. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember at this time friends and family of our community who have died, who will always shine upon us from their eternal resting spaces. We begin with those for whom we are in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, including Michael Shepard, Pearl Fuchs-Schechter, and Sydney Marshall. If you are observing Shloshim at this time, please place those names of people you are remembering in our chat box. We also remember the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths that occur on this Shabbat. We begin with those who have plaques in our Sue and Jerry Erford Memorial Room. Eileen Belzer, Edward Cooper Smith, Robert Epstein, David Feldman, Goldie Fleischman, Rose Graff, Jacob Greenberg, Daisy Harris, Bernice Herman, Francis Katolkin, Arnold Kloman, Jacob Lewis, Esther Milberger Schwartz, Julius Miller, Esther Aller, Harry Richmond, Hal Rosen, Wolf Rosenblatt, Maurice Sennett, Louis Smith, Gabe Testa, Ben Valensky. We also remember Marilyn Berman, Harry Bogash, Reuben Brunswick, Rose Cohen, Molly Comstock, Charles Elmont, Robert Feinerman, Morris Foreman, Philip Glassman, Jack Hassan, Dr. Joel Horowitz, Paul Danin Khan, Jeff Koppel, Debbie Kovach, Alfred Kuczynski, Marie Leibovitz, Joseph Lippman, Sadie Lippman, Ben Locker, Barbara Margolin, Alfred Mendel, Christine Molnar, Abe Nebrat, Stephen Newman, Alan Resnick, Mendel Ritter, Bertha Rothman, Manfred Salzman, Louis Sensiper, Jack Schulman, Holly Suzanne Silverman, Hans Spiegel, Fred Steele, Edith Steinberg, Marion Stern, Inna Tsudik, Ruth Weiss, Matt Young, Lillian Zulli. If you are remembering any additional people, please place those names in the chat box. We ask for all who are able to please rise as we offer Kaddish Yatom. Cantor, can you please lead us in the Mourner's Kaddish?
Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, ve'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach, la'olam ul'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, vitale, vitalal, shemei dekudesha, brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma, v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim alenu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Alenu va'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen.
May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say, Amen. Before we conclude with a very special closing song, Mary Lou Basaraba, our choir director, thank you so very much for gathering members of our choir so they could fill this place with song and music. Cantorlani, you are extraordinary in every way. Cantorial intern Liz, thank you for your leadership. And to Carol Diamond, who has been in the background, making sure that all the proper people are spotlighted at the right time. We are so very grateful to you, Carol. So thank you so very much. And of course, to the Tzemanis family, we can't wait to celebrate together. Cantorlani, what is our closing song tonight?
Our closing song is Bashana Haba'ah, and this is a version that was recorded last year for the High Holidays. So it involves many of our choir members, both for Shabbat and the High Holy Days. And I'm hoping that, Carol, do you have this to share with all of us?
Actually, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay, so let me see if I'm able to share my screen. Give me one. All right, let me see if this works.
Angelani, thank you so much for presenting that video. It brings so much joy, and we all do want to be together very, very soon. So let's close with a motzi. I got a challah here. We give a challah there also. All right, Kendra, can you lead us?
Hamotzi lachem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lachem min haaretz. B'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.